Hello and welcome to May 2025. Now, some of you have actually given me feedback on how they have begun to reinvent themselves, to go into new directions, following what I said for the last month. And this month, the overall energies that I'm going to share with you, again, it's about guidance, it's about inspiration for how to deal with the energies of the coming weeks. And as always, this is from my perspective, what I perceive and what I get to share with you. And so the first thing that I want to share with you is that they are perceived limits and limitations. And this concept of limitations and limiting forces will become strong in the next couple of weeks. But what is actually happening is that we are invited to question the concept of limits and limitations, and to actually not take any limitation or limit as reality or as given or as this is so, because it's not. A boundary or a limit only exists as long as you accept it. Right? We know this. Like, if you go beyond a boundary because you decide to do so, that boundary was not a boundary because you've surpassed it. Like, that's back there now. It did not apply to you. And so it is very possible for many of you that, let's say, in the outer world, you may feel more and more restricted. You may hear of news that are more and more restrictive, even to your personal lives. Okay? Now, whenever that happens, and the same goes for your own belief systems, for your own limitations that you consider are yours, where you hold yourself small, where you hold yourself confined in your self-perception, in what you think you can or cannot do, how you are not, what your strengths are, and so on. Like, question how you think about yourself. What limits do you accept about yourself that you're giving to yourself? Only. And then also what's being, let's say, suggested to you from the outside world, what limits there should be for you. So the first step is question them. Don't take them as real. Question them and then decide, do I want this to be my reality, or do I choose to live from my state of being a limitless being? In the essence, we're all limitless. Yes, we are in a human experience, very limited perspective, very limited bodily expansion possibilities. Yes. But the essence of us, our true self, we are limitless. And so from this limited beingness, or unlimited beingness rather, look at what's imposed or what's been suggested to you or what you might experience as confining, question it, and then decide whether or not to accept it or not. And the suggestion would more be, do not accept those, but stay within your unlimited state, because freedom is an inner state of being. Freedom is nothing that somebody else needs to give you. It is always yours to choose inside. Okay? So, and this inner freedom is also what will never, ever be able to be controlled by freedom opposing forces. And let's face it, what's happening on the planet is this kind of battle between freedom-seeking forces and freedom-enhancing forces, and the opposite, like freedom-stifling forces. Okay, that's what we've been seeing possibly for thousands of years, right? And we're seeing it more so, like so much in our faces now that nobody can actually deny it. But there's nothing wrong with this, and you are not going to stop this. You're not going to end this. You're in the middle of this, but you get to choose, and this is actually why this is all here. The path is not change everyone out there and then it'll be nice and peaceful. The path, or the evolutionary path to where we're heading and why this is set up the way it is It's because we get to learn and experience and learn through our experiences self-mastery, self-realization. Through all this digging in the mud and being in the middle of this all, of this chaos, of this entropy, of all of that. That's what the evolution is. That's what the development, the growth aspect is. It's not telling everybody how they should live in peace and harmony. In this case, possibly if you watch this video, someone else will tell you something different. They will say, let's fight against these and let's build up our country like that, and the others can go wherever. Even telling somebody else, live peace and harmony, and if that's not their path, it is still imposing something onto them. So that's not what it's about. It's about recognizing that however things are, they must be right, otherwise they would be different. And they are all for us to use for our own mastery. And that means that we recognize and realize who and what we are. Self-realization. Before that, it's self-investigation, self-inquiry, self-exploration, and we're all on that path to explore ourselves in interaction, of course, with the world. But by defining how the world should be and is not, and all those faults and mistakes and lacks out there, you're not evolving. Like, you just project everything that's in here out there and see it on that screen, what's wrong. But if you turn it back, if you see the world as a mirror, and you come back and say, all of that must be in me, otherwise I would not see it out there. And then you start to correct that or heal that within you. You start to explore that. You start to get to know yourself as more than your identity. You start to get to know yourself as a source being, as we all come from somewhere, right? We're all connected to something greater. And exploring that, and then also at some point beginning to embody that more so than the human identity. Embody that which you really are through the human expression. That is then the next step. But all of this here means we're on the path to self-mastery. Don't master anyone or anything out there while you haven't mastered yourself. And that brings me to do not accept any limits or limitations anyone places on you if they don't resonate with your inner mastery. Okay, so that's the first point. And the second point now for the next few weeks is honor and appreciate again, and also allow again the beauty and the grandiosity of life to be expressed in your experience. And what I mean by that is, I know it sounds not very tangible. What I hear within me is this orchestra music, hymn-like music, very royal, very honorable. That's what I hear when I convey these words. It's like, allow this majestic vibration and frequency to enter your little life. So often, like the image that I have is so often, people live their lives with the frequency of being in this village of the Middle Ages that is gray, it's raining, everything like is mud and dirt and like small, dark, stone-built houses, and not joyful, not very, very small, and just in the hope of not getting hurt, in the hope nothing bad happening. But the energy and the frequency is so, so small. And in opposition to that for May, and maybe this goes also along with this opening up of nature again to the sun, to flourishing, like springtime, right? Here in Europe, the opening up of that to the light, and life being expressed again in this majestic way, like nature. It's it is majesty. It's amazing. And this frequency, what I see is we're being invited to translate this, to take this into our own lives. Let your life be grandioso. And by that, I don't mean portray a grandiose picture of you or image into the world so that the others perceive you as grandiose or amazing or having a big life. What I mean is authentically, like through your authentic beingness, express that majestic energy out into the world. By being authentic, not by being fake and portraying something like that. The opposite. By recognizing your nobility, I want to say, and that power and that joy in that orchestra and music, that power and joy and vibrancy. Heck yeah, we are alive and we want to use this life. That kind of energy and joy of being alive, that we transport that out into the world, that we allow this experience to fill our daily life, our little things that we do during the day, but we can actually invite this frequency in and then see what changes in your life experience, in the way you perceive your life. So if that resonates, then feel free to either now or at a later stage during the month, write down your experiences, like share them with us. And I'm very interested to see how this unfolds in your life in the next few weeks. So I'm going to love you and leave you for today. I'll be back and we'll talk again next time if you want to.